Welcome to the Superintendent's Hangout, where we discuss topics in education, charter schools, life in general, and not necessarily in that order. I'm your host, Dr. Sharetta. Come on in and hang out. In this episode 6, I sit down with Lisa Ponce. You can find her on Instagram at Lisa Plant Lady Ponce, Ponce. Her company is called Vibrancy, and Lisa and I have a wide-ranging conversation about what brought her to this point in her life, where she has created a real niche business of helping folks take care of their indoor plants, their outdoor plants, and in the process has built a supportive, friendly network. And we also discuss how we can do a better job in education with preparing young people for a life of entrepreneurship and exploration. I hope you enjoy this episode 6. Welcome, Lisa, to the Superintendent's Hangout. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me. I am so excited that someone thinks I'm interesting. So thank you for having me.
I was wondering if we could get started just by you telling us kind of your origin story, and then after that I can let the listeners know how we found you. But if you could tell us just, where you're from, who you are, and then what brings you to the present moment.
Okay. My name is Lisa Ponce. I am 41 years old. I was born in Tijuana and have been I was there a very short period of time, and I've been in San Diego my entire life. I'm a mom. I have a wonderful 17 teenager named Gia. I am Mexican and Peruvian, and I am gay with a capital G.
Thank you for that, Lisa. That was you're very humble in your in your origin story. So for the listeners, what really led to today was that when we moved into the offices, actually where we're recording this from right now, we had this desire to have live plants. The space was really big and very barren, and so we kind of had some artificial plants, and we're wondering, we knew we wanted something that was live, but we didn't know who was going to take care of it. And having seen too many offices where plants die, and having killed my fair share myself, I said the only way we can do this is if we get someone who's an expert on plants to come in and take care of them and be kind to them and keep them alive. And so one of our staff members brought me your name, and I'm assuming they found you on social media. And so if you could tell us professionally what you do and how you're connected to plants and how that came to be.
Sure. I love this question. Yes. So Kathy found me actually from a really good friend of mine that is her hairstylist. I have 10 locations in San Diego that I care for people's plants. I care for indoor plants and outdoor gardens. A lot of my locations are within the beauty industry, salons, tattoo shops. I have a restaurant in Golden Hill, a couple personal homes, and truly anything and everything in between that has to do with plants. This whole journey started about 4 years ago. I've always been into plants and loved them, but I fell in love with farming about 4 years ago. I woke up one day, I always worked in the beauty industry. I had always worked in salons, not doing hair, but doing more management. And I did that for about 9 years and honestly woke up and was just bored. So I checked in with my family, and they always get terrified when I do that because I have these wild ideas all the time and I don't follow through and I want to do this, and then, you know how that goes. You have a daughter.
I do.
But I really wanted to learn how to farm, and they had these wonderful classes in City College, agriculture program. And I fell in love with it, and it opened up so much opportunity for me. I did a composting internship in San Diego, loved it, thrived with it. I did a farming course at a farm called Wild Willow in Chula Vista, fell in love with it. Then I was invited to do this really special internship in Oregon, working with medicinal herbs with a company called Herb Farm, and just fell in love with it. Fell in love with Oregon, fell in love with just farming, like my body on the farm, growing something from seed, being able to eat something that you grew. It was incredible to me. And when the internship ended and I had to come back to San Diego, I was devastated. I was trying to figure out a way to stay out there. But with my daughter at the time, it just wasn't the right time. Came back to San Diego, hadn't been working for about 1.5 years and needed to start working. My friend has a cute little boutique in Bankers Hill where there was a ton of indoor plants inside. And like you said, everybody loves plants, but they don't necessarily know how to care for them. And as soon as I walked in the door and I saw all these indoor houseplants, it literally clicked. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to take care of indoor houseplants for everyone in San Diego. And I'm not kidding. It spiraled so quickly. It was all word of mouth. It was me just going in, taking the plants outside. Being in a cute neighborhood like Bankers Hill, there's tons of people walking around. I was next door to a coffee shop, so much traffic and curiosity. Who is this person outside caring for all these plants? Questions came up and just, it was like a show. Like, I'm kind of like a show, like I am. I don't try to be, but I am. People are curious about me and I make it really fun. I love aesthetic, but I also had these farming skills on how to care for these living things. And people would walk by and boom, I'd get a house call, or they'd be like, oh my gosh, do you have a business card? Can you come to different businesses? Within a few months, I'm not joking, I had like 13 locations. And I was having the time of my life. I was exhausted in the best way, making more money than I'd ever made in my life at that time, pre-COVID, having a blast. I would drop my daughter off at school at 7 a.m. and would just hustle with plants until 6 o'clock at night. And it was wild. And then COVID happened and I lost a lot of my locations. I also got really sick in 2020. I was diagnosed with lupus March 13th of 2020. And that literally rocked my entire world. On top of trying to manage a pandemic that we'd never been through before, it was a really vulnerable and scary time in my life. But plants got me through it. Like, I truly feel impactful with what I do. I think that have found this specialty in San Diego where I can make a living working with plants and making spaces really beautiful and healthy. I don't have to talk to a lot of people. I get to literally go to places, put headphones in, get an iced Americano, play with plants all day, and then meet amazing people that open up opportunity like with what I'm doing right now.
Yeah, we didn't talk about this in the pregame for today, but one of the reasons that I wanted to speak with you is that my grandmother, my maternal grandmother, was a huge plant flower lover.
Yeah.
And she worked at a flower shop for years and years. When I was a kid, I thought she owned the flower shop.
Aww.
She didn't.
Yeah.
But she worked there. And she had this amazing way with flowers. And I remember when I was in high school, I went to a really small high school, so we would all go to the prom every year. So that meant 4 prom dates for me. And some happier than others. But every year she would make the corsage. And at the time, all I wanted was a store-bought corsage like every other kid.
Right.
And now when I think back on it and look at photos, like the ones that she made were like if she were here today in San Diego, she could charge $200 for each one, you know, but we just didn't appreciate it in those days. Of
course.
So the whole topic of plants and flowers is certainly something that has kind of always been a part of my life. So how did you mentioned that you had a health challenge in the kind of a year or so into COVID.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, you had the COVID challenge.
Yeah.
So, and then plants got you through, but like apart from symbolically, how did you survive and how did you get to where you are today? And it looks like you're out the other side of it.
Yeah.
And hopefully your health is stable too.
Yeah, I have an amazing support system. I have so many people in the community that showed up for me. I have an amazing supportive family that was able to help me financially. I will have to say, I am new to social media in the sense of I'd never been interested at all in my life. And then when I started this and really wanted to take it to the next level, a friend of mine was like, Lisa, if you really want to do this, guaranteed, get on social media. You're gonna reach the community that you want to reach. It's gonna happen really fast. I came home one day and he said, okay, here's your Instagram handle. Here's your password. Do it for a couple weeks. If you don't like it, we'll shut it down. It was the best it was a resource for me, an exposure. And Instagram or social media it's a resource, and it is where we're at today, especially where COVID put us in. Like I said, everything that I did was very word of mouth. And when I got sick, the amount of people that showed up for me, I had strangers sending me Venmos for smoothies and for this and that. Like, I was really sick, and I didn't find out for a few weeks that I had lupus. Like, I was struggling, not even a few weeks, it was a lot longer than that. It was months of chronic pain and inflammation. I have lupus in my skin. Lupus affects your organs and it affects my skin severely. So when I am not well, you can physically see it. It's clear. And at the time that was happening, I had severe inflammation, like on my face. Like, people thought that I was I had a burn injury or that I was in like a motorcycle car accident. My entire face was severely affected. And when this happened, it happened really quickly. And I had to reach out to all my plant locations and say, hey, I'm going to be back in a couple of weeks. I'm just sick, like, I don't know what's going on, but I had no idea that it was going to turn into something like lupus. And they all showed up for me big time. And they also were like, holy heck, we have so much respect for you and what you do. Like, people managing all of the plants that I used to take care of, it's a lot of work. Yeah. People look at these things, and I'm so grateful that they get to enjoy them. But I love to gently remind people, plants are alive. They're not an aesthetic. They're not a picture on the wall or something to match your beautiful pink couch. Like, they are alive, and they have conditions, and they have feelings, and it takes a lot of work to make them sparkle. So that was really great for people to appreciate what I do and feel good about investing in what I do. Because to show up somewhere and try to get someone to pay you to water their plants, it can be a little challenging sometimes. But it is. There's a lot of work that goes into it.
What's your Instagram? Where can people find you on social media?
My Instagram handle, I have two. One of them I'm trying to make more businessy. It's hard managing that, as we know. My main account is Lisa Plant Lady Ponce. So it's my first and last name, Plant Lady's in the middle. The name of my business is Vibrancy, and so I have a Instagram that I'm really going to try hard to work on building this year, and that's Vibrancy San Diego.
Yeah, and we'll put all these in the show notes too. And
okay.
But I just wanted to get that out there. It's interesting. We hear, and especially in education, we hear a lot of negative stories about social media, or
right.
you hear. All you need to do is read in any story that gets reposted on social media, and if you read far enough down in the comments, oftentimes it's a rabbit hole of just right. like electronic courage and right. people saying really cruel things right. behind the walls of zero accountability.
Right.
So it's really touching to hear that strangers were concerned about your health, and then also
so
even sending you
Venmo treats.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding, because
Yeah.
I couldn't eat and I was losing so much weight, and I was really vulnerable, but really honest, and like was showing my face and was like, this is what's going on. And because I think it's important to do that. And I had so many people reaching out to me, and all of my plant locations really concerned and getting flowers, and people really cared about me. And that means the world to me. Like, I know that I stand out. Like, I don't mean to, but I know that I do. I mean, look at me right now. I got all dressed up for this, and no one can even see me but you. You know what I mean? I love color, and who doesn't? I mean,
I think we may need to include a photo of your choosing.
My favorite jumpsuit.
A photo of your choosing on the show notes for this. But yeah, let's just say, I'll just leave it here. Lisa is not lacking for color today in her outfit or in her makeup.
Yes,
so, yeah.
I put on my new eyeliner, my orange earrings. Yes, I really. That was another thing too when I was sick. Getting through that whole thing, I made a promise to myself that I was going to live my life and wake up every day, decorate myself, put on my best outfit. It's like a superpower for me. I mean, color it's life to me. I mean, look where we are. We're going into spring, and I was just driving on the 15 the other day, going to Temecula, and the pops of color that are showing up are stunning. And doesn't it just make your heart happy and smile? Yeah. But I really feel like when people see me, they've said things like that to me. I'm like, did you ever watch the Care Bears or like Rainbow Bright?
No, but
they were my
clearly
my
your favorite.
And that's really like I thrive off of color. I really do.
Well, that's a perfect combination for your chosen line of work, or the line of work that chose you. Whichever way
for sure.
we want to look at that. So tell me about a little bit more about the world of plants. So it's an endless world that you can explore.
Right.
What's your favorite type of plant to work with? And, what brings you the most joy out of a very joyful profession that you have chosen?
You know what I love? And it's such a simple plant. I like to keep things simple with this. Like I said, I learned this was all very self-taught. You're not going to find scientific names coming out of my mouth. I'm not going to try to tell you something that I really don't know. I'm going to keep it very simple. And I think that's been part of my specialty is keep it very simple. Plants are a lot like us. We don't need a whole lot to thrive. But when we're in the right condition and we bloom, it is the best. I love simple pothos. The very simple, like you have a few, or you have philodendron, but I love philodendron, pothos. They're very simple. They're easier to take care of. I love that there's different varieties and colors. They trail beautifully. You can hang them, you can set them on a table, and they're lovely. They're so easy to propagate and make new ones, but they're simple. Mm-hmm. They're so simple. I like to keep it simple. When you go into something that is a little bit more extravagant, like a rare type of a plant, people forget that you're taking it out of an environment. Environment is so important. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be beautiful, and then if you're not going to invest in what it needs to be a success and to thrive, you're going to be sad and trying to figure it out. Even I try to figure it out sometimes. It doesn't feel good. Like, plants are supposed to be with us for a long period of time, and I think we need to respect them. Like, we're taking them out of their environment, putting them in this pot, a cage essentially, for the rest of their life, for our pleasure. You need to show up for them. It's important.
What's the biggest mistake that you see people making with plants? Because, I'm sure you hear it 1,000 times a day. Well, I don't have a green thumb. Yeah. That's why I called you.
Right. Environment is so important. And when I say that, there's different factors. Environment meaning, okay, like, for instance, when I go to a consultation, I want to go during the daytime because obviously I want to see what kind of light's coming in. When I'm going to look in a space, I'm looking at, okay, is there vents that are going to be coming down with air conditioning and heater? Is there fireplace that's going to be coming? Is there light? Is it, what kind of energy and people are in this space? I'm not kidding you. Energy is a real thing. I've walked into places and I'm like, it's toxic in here and look at all these sad plants, like it's a real thing. Is it a hair salon and is there a lot of chemicals in the air? That's been a big factor that I've seen for different plants in different environments. Like you can truly have the exact same type of variety of plants and have them in different locations. And one could be thriving, one could be off, one could be doing something else. And there's all these different environmental factors. I think it's so important. And I always suggest for people to start small. People get so excited and buy so many plants, and it can be very overwhelming. Plants aren't on a schedule per se, but you definitely, I don't like to use that word schedule because you can, I think it's important to show up at least once a week and check on everything, but something might not need water and something might need water. And there's all these different the environment that your plants are in are so important.
Is it true that plants react to music?
Yes. Are you kidding? And jump roping and singing. I do that. I'm not kidding you. When I'm alone, sometimes I wonder if there's people like watching me because it's this thing. Like I'm around plants more than I am around people. So yeah, like I will sometimes play music for them, touching them for sure. Like physical touch is a real thing. I swear these plants know me so much that when I did get sick, I had a few locations tell me, Lisa, I'm not kidding you. I swear the plants know that it's not you that is watering them. It's this real thing. They have this sense of, I don't want to say it's like a dog, but similar, imagine they're alive. So they know my vibration. They know my voice. They know my touch, not necessarily my smell, but I have been showing up for some of these plants for the past 4 years. They know who I am. They know how I water. They know that I have respect for them. You know what I mean? I really do care. This is my job. This is how I eat. And it's more to me than that. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. I only recently learned of the whole music thing.
Yeah.
Because someone told me,
it's a vibrational thing.
Someone told me, this plant is sad. You need to sing to it. I'm like,
yeah.
Yeah, but is it the same if Alexa sings to it? I'm like, if you've heard my voice, Alexa's so far superior.
Yeah, but it's true. They really do respond to you. It's a real, there's been so many studies about, do plants have feelings? It's this whole, it's this thing. I believe that they do. I've seen it. I've seen when you take your time with a plant, especially after one that's really sick and you don't give up on it and you just give it what it needs, like a sick baby or like we are, just that extra love and attention. It's a real thing.
Have you delved at all into studying bees?
I haven't studied bees, but I've worked with bees and farming. Bees are essential.
Yeah,
they really are. But I haven't studied bees. Have you?
No, I just actually was listening to a podcast the other day where they had a beekeeper on, and just it's fascinating. It's like
we can't live without
we can't.
Bees. Truly.
And so that's I feel that in the next generation or so, between changes to temperature and climate, and in some parts of the world, the bee colonies are really, really threatened.
They are.
I worry about, what plants are going to look like in the future, and flowers, and I was even reading that the number of bird species has declined so rapidly in the United States that in some parts of the country, it's 40% less than it would have been 50 years ago. I'm 52, so I come from a family where my grandfather was an outdoorsman and loved birds, and a lot of the species they might not be entirely extinct, but they're endangered, and you don't hear them singing anymore.
Oh,
so
sad.
That's an interesting thing I think to reflect on.
Yeah.
What about invasive species? I live in Bonita, and there's a park that trails that I go running in, and I always see people in the Saturday mornings. They'll be out there digging out invasive species.
That's an interesting question, especially coming from farming too. Like, we learned, like, there's so many plants that people think are weeds or invasive, and they have so many nutrients, and you can eat them, and you can use them as, like a cover crop and to enrich the soil. So it's interesting, but don't get me wrong. I mean, we all like aesthetic and we want things to look pleasing. So there's definitely plants that get out of control, but the whole invasive plant, I think it depends on who you ask. I love when things are wild and feral, and I do have a little bit of a background, like I said, with weeds that grow in our yard, and people like want to pull them up and
put Roundup on them.
Oh my, yes. And they're so good for the soil or your compost. You know what I mean? I think I'm the wrong person to ask. I try to appreciate everything, but I get it. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, they can get out of control.
It's interesting. I was, this time last year, I was at a conference in Hawaii, and I was kind of reading a little bit about the Hawaiian Islands, if you think about it. So there was a time when they were being formed millions of years ago that there were no plants or animals or anything.
Right.
So everything that is now in Hawaii means that it flew or floated or was transported there.
Wow.
So from plants to animals to everything.
Right.
But at a certain point, certain things become invasive.
Right.
If they maybe throw the islands out of balance. And so
right.
That's
an interesting perspective.
Interesting thing. Like,
right.
There's, you can go and that's the hardest. You could never take your pet snake to Hawaii and smuggle it in your duffel bag. You'd get arrested right away.
Totally.
So it's interesting to reflect on, like, what it even means to be invasive.
Right. Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah. What's the biggest challenge you've faced as a business owner? Because it seems like this wasn't really, it's not like you sat down 10 years ago and drafted out a business plan and said, I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to go and get a small business, an SBA loan, and then I'm going to do this. And that. So it was pretty organic.
It was very organic, and I'm still trying to figure it all out. I mean, like, does anybody even really know what the heck they're doing? I mean, like, when I'm talking to other small business owners, like, it's wild and scary out there. I met somebody recently that asked what it is that I do, and I told them, and they said, wow, I admire you. You're brave. You're a risk taker. And I just, like, loved that answer because it's so true. I think my biggest challenge so far has been COVID and losing a few locations along the way. I mean, I wonder, like I said, when this whole thing started, I had 13 locations very quickly. And before COVID, I was almost at 20. And for one person, that's a lot in a short period of time. And then COVID happened. So you get excited about that income, and you get excited about that drive. And then you kind of don't think that you're not going to have that. Then something like COVID happens. And I lost a few locations, and it did really affect my income. Like, this past September was struggle bus for me. And I'm grateful that I have support from family and friends, that if I really was at that place where I'm like, I need help being able to eat, I can't pay my rent, like, no joke, I struggled. But I do know that when I put my mind to something, I know how to hustle. I do. I know how to manifest what it is that I want. I know how to be creative. I'm not scared to show up someplace and be like, hey, I'm Lisa. You need to get some plants up in here. You know what I mean? Like, I've met a lot of locations and have built locations by doing just that. I love thinking outside the box. I actually have a really exciting opportunity that is going to be happening quickly. I'm going to be relocating to Idlewild. I think I kind of shared that with you briefly. Yeah. Haven't really told anybody about it. Guess I just told everybody now.
Our tens and tens of followers will out you with that. So.
Yeah, but it was an opportunity. Idlewild is 2 hours away. It's a magical little town that I love. There's a lot of Airbnbs, and not a lot of them have indoor and outdoor plants because there's not someone to take care of them. And then also there's snow, which is a big factor. And I have this opportunity to go out there and to see what I can do in this town. So I'm going to do it. I'm excited. I'm ready to work hard and to have a different type of community, but also be outside of San Diego, but still be able to come down to San Diego. I'll be down here every week to care for all my 10 locations and see how that goes. But yeah, I really love thinking outside the box. So when I get to that place of hardship or struggle, of course, we all spiral within that for a little bit, but plants are pretty incredible. Like, there's so much opportunity that comes with them, especially with indoor. I mean, I could truly go anywhere in the world if I wanted to. If I built a connection and wanted to go anywhere, I could do that. And I have a specialty with plant care. I have experience, and that's a specialty. That's something that not a lot of people know. Anybody can buy a lot of plants, but to keep them thriving and to keep them healthy and happy, that's the thing. Like, I don't date anybody anymore unless they can keep a fern alive. Like, I'm not kidding you.
That's the dating the dating barometer. Hey,
exactly.
Could you send me some?
Yeah, show me pictures of your plants.
Can I see pictures? They should have a little thing on the dating app.
They should.
Show me a picture of your houseplant.
Yeah,
please.
I'm serious. You can tell a lot by a person by their plants, you know?
Yeah, I was talking to someone who said the same thing, but about people's cars. not what car they drove, but how they maintained the cleanliness.
Yeah, sure.
So I was like, I never thought about that. But
Yeah.
maybe it's a sign of something, right?
It's true.
I guess it's a sign of like priorities and kindness. And I know people will sometimes say, I only will date dog people or something like that. So, or cat people, whatever it is. So that's interesting, huh? But what about like all the mechanics of running a business? Like, what prepared you for that? Because it's, there's bookkeeping, there's tracking of invoices.
Oh, yeah. One thing that I feel like I want to continue to do, because there's been opportunity where people have been like, do you want to open your own plant shop? Do you want to have employees? And my answer is always no. Like, with a capital N. I want to be able to manage. I love that I can manage all this on my own. I love that what I do is pretty small. Like, I'm not working with commercial huge businesses. I tried that one time. It did not go well for me. I like to keep it small. I love working with small business owners. I had a really great opportunity working at this sweet little store in Little Italy inside of James Coffee that connected me with their accountant. And so I've continued to use this, and it's a great accountant, somebody that I'm very small, I think, for what they handle, but I'm glad that they were able to take me on and keep things really legit. I'm a pen and paper person. I have a notebook and Post-its and whatever else you can write on to write down everything. Like, it might look a little disorganized to somebody else, but what I do, it's pretty simple. It is. A lot of the most challenging thing for me, I think, has been keeping track of mileage, because what I do is there's so much mobility to it. So that's been a little bit of a challenge, is keeping track of those kind of logistics. Not so much like, I don't have a plant shop, so I don't have like sales tax and stuff like that. Or it's very simple. Like, soil is cost effective. Plant, like, it's a simple formula. And I think the overhead of having a shop is what's very intimidating. Right. Plus, there's so many plant shops around. Yeah. I always have to be different with whatever I'm doing. Whatever I'm going to do, it's going to be different. And I think I've really found a specialty where I really sparkle with plant care. Not a lot of people know how to care for plants. And I'm able to really respect the farming tools and school that I went through, because a lot of the same type of mechanics and knowledge with farming, I'm able to apply it to everything that I do with the indoor, outdoor plant world.
It's interesting when you think about it that maybe the big nurseries have a vested interest in people not really knowing how to care for their plants really well.
Well, that's what I think it really is.
Because
those big places, big commercial places.
It's just to keep it going, right? And
Yeah.
you know, if all the plants thrived and stayed alive forever, then
right.
You know, it's like if every dentist taught everyone exactly how to take care of their teeth and really did their jobs perfectly, then they would almost put themselves out of business.
It's so true. And I think I really keep it small. Like I know what I can manage. I am not a multitasker at all. I get overwhelmed very easily. And with plants, you have to be super mindful and you have to show up for them, because you walk in a room with a lot of plants and they're not doing well. I lose sleep over that. I'm like saving lives around the town. You know what I mean? Like it's a real thing. So I am really grateful that I'm able to manage this on my own and not have the overhead of employees, or the overhead of just like a lot of sales tax, or just all of that. It just seems really stressful. Mm-hmm. And I want to continue to manage things on my own. I do know that if I want to continue to move on to different places that are further, Idlewild is going to be easy to manage because it's 2 hours away.
Right.
But I have thought of the idea of when my daughter moves to Colorado, maybe I could do that part-time, but then I would have to have help here. There's no way that I would be able to come down every week. So we'll see, but I really love the plant care aspect. I don't see myself ever opening a shop. Mm-hmm. It's going to be more of having a really rad team of wild, cool people, artists that are, I mean, can you imagine if I had a team of me in a cool van taking care of everyone's plants around the town? Come on, how fun would that be?
A brightly colored van.
I would love that. Maybe we'd I've thought about that, having a team of people that cares for people's plants. I could see that.
Have you seen,
big time,
because you live in near downtown.
I lived in Barrio Logan. I actually, because I'm in transition moving up to Idlewild, I'm staying with family right now.
So there's a landscaper who drives around South Park, North Park, Golden Hill.
Cool.
And his entire van is decorated with kind of artificial turf and plants.
Oh my gosh, I've seen it on the freeway. I actually feel like I saw that in Claremont. Are they from around here?
Yeah, I've seen them around here. So I was just thinking, it flashed in my mind when I thought about you and your van of colorful, like-minded people.
I've seen that. But having a team, I haven't really seen that around yet. So that's kind of an idea that sparked interest, as I'm like, what if I had this rad team of artists, designers that could turn into something like that, but for more small businesses, and not in places. I love when my locations reflect me. Like, I think it's funny when people in La Jolla or Sunset Cliffs seek me. I'm like, really? Why? I think it's because I'm not boring, maybe. And I don't know, but people are interested in me, and I love that.
But it's also an intimate experience because you're going into their homes or their place of business, or, and so there has to be that certain level of trust. Otherwise, it's different than a company that's going to send a different person every week or every month, and then it's just really impersonal.
Yeah, I agree.
Let's see. So I wanted to talk a little bit about your daughter. And I'll put you on the spot with that. But you mentioned her.
I could cry right now. Oh my gosh, my heart just started beating.
You mentioned her, and we've talked about a little bit about the parenting. What does she think of your work?
That's funny. I wish Gio was here because I would love that answer. But I have like, my heart is really beating so fast because I'm in this place
Sorry
of
to put
motherhood.
You on the spot.
No, I love being put on the spot. I struggled so much as a parent to Gia, like being this young, wild mom, and I really had a hard time. And then as soon as she became a teenager, oh my gosh, I was meant to mother a teenager. I love teenagers, and teenagers love me. Like, I just have this way of connecting with them and having this understanding and just this way of being vulnerable. And Gia's always seen me struggle. I mean, she has, and be all over the place, whimsical, have these ideas, want to try these things, and it kind of being really excited and being excited for me, and then it just like ends. But this is something, it's not ending, it's only grown. And there's been moments where she has sent me a text message or hugged me and said, like, I'm really proud of you, or wow, you can really turn nothing into something. Or, I mean, that's powerful for a child or anybody to see me not give up and to be creative when things have gotten hard, or take an opportunity, or just, I would hope that she is proud of me, and that, you know, I barely graduated from high school. I did not go to college. I've always been truly an artist. And this is something that she has seen me, this is my income. This is what feeds us. You know what I mean? So I adore her and I respect her. And I'm at this place in my life where we've had very sister energy our entire life. And now she's getting ready. I mean, she just graduated from Point Loma. She's moving to Colorado. She's this incredible downhill mountain biker that is about to go professional. And I feel like when I shared with her about this whole Idlewild experience, we both got emotional. I feel like it's like we're both these young sisters getting ready to go off to college or something. It's like that type of, I love you so much and I want you to live your life. But like, I just have this different type of mom love that I've never had for her. And I don't know, that makes me feel all kinds of things, but she's amazing.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
I just had to drop that in because I think obviously your career is as you say, kind of, it's a whimsical career.
Right. I agree.
It's beautiful and whimsical and doesn't fit into boxes.
Sure.
And downhill mountain biking doesn't either.
Yeah, I don't even know how to ride a bike. Are you kidding? I mean, she is incredible. Her dad used to race professionally, and she has it in her blood. I mean, I'm not kidding you. I don't even know how to ride a bike. I'd probably kill myself dying, like from trying. I don't know how to ride a bike. I'm terrified. I don't have coordination. But if you want to make friendship bracelets and talk about your feelings, I'm your person. So she has the best of both worlds with like her dad being very extreme and doing that whole mountain biking thing. And then she has me, who is a little more artistic and sensitive and emotional. Like, I think she has the best of both worlds for sure. Thank
you for sharing that. So I want to shift gears a little bit because, you know, a lot of our conversations on this podcast have to do with education and thinking about preparing our young people for the future. And you made a comment about yourself almost not graduating from high school, and that you've been an artist.
Oh, yeah.
What kind of advice would you give my colleagues and me in terms of creating that experience in school so that our students in the future can feel empowered to take on paths that are not conventional?
Right.
What could we do better? Because it sounds like you probably didn't have that kind of preparation
True.
in your schooling.
Right.
You probably didn't say in your, yearbook at some point, most likely to be.
Do you want to know what my most likely was? You're going to die because I
that?
Just got done telling somebody this. I was just looking at my yearbook the other day, just had this conversation. My most likely was most likely to party till she drops. That was my most likely. I was a wild animal. I was. That was my most likely, to party till she drops.
Wow.
I still got it in me. I mean, I like to have fun. I do.
So what could we do differently in our schools so that our students today could identify with your journey? Right? Because,
Yeah.
I mean, fundamentally, you're a woman business owner.
Right.
In a field that is hard to define, mm-hmm. where you don't see yourself really growing,
right?
Where so much of it's dependent upon you. You like it that way, but
do.
it's also a vulnerable spot to be in.
It's stressful. Oh, yeah.
So what can we do for our kids who are in elementary and middle and high school now so that they can see that these are viable avenues to pursue?
You know what I would love, and Kathy and I actually joked around about this a little bit, but I would love to be, if I could teach kids in some way, like teach them, keep it really simple. I would love, like I said, kids and teens, they love me. I mean, they really do. I feel like they think I'm like this type of cartoon character or something like that. I would love to teach. If there was something like this in schools, like if I could, like managing a garden, but not just doing it on your own, but involving people. But with houseplants, I don't think there's really a program for that. And people, like, that goes into people's homes. A lot of children, a lot of people, everybody has a houseplant at one point in their lifetime. Learning how to care for it, bringing it back to how we take care of ourselves with needing sunshine and needing water and needing rest. And it really can go back into how you take care of your body. Like it really can. I would love to teach in some kind of way to young people. I think that I would love that. And then maybe I would like jump rope in between and make it really fun, or
So the jump roping is for your fitness or for the plants?
I think it's all of the above. I love jump roping. I'm not like I said, I don't downhill mountain bike. I don't do any sports. I like to jump rope. That's my form of exercise, and that's been like this funny thing. Like I just will. Yeah, there's one location in North Park that is huge and has a great sound system, and when everyone's gone, like I would jump rope inside of this building for my pleasure and just like have the music blasting for the plants. It was like this show, and people, it's like a fishbowl, this salon in San Diego. People would see me. People would send me pictures or send me things on Instagram, like watching me jump rope. It was really funny, but yeah, I would love to teach and be able to share my story, because I'm literally watering plants on the daily, and that's my income. And if you would have told somebody that, if when I would tell people this when I first started it, everyone's like, yeah, but you're not, I mean, come on, you're not really going to be able to like do this and make a living. And I'm not making a lot of money per se by any means. Like I said, I struggle all the time if I lose a location. It really affects me. But the amount of opportunity that's out there with plants, like I'm so excited to see where this is going to take me. It's not over at all. And I really do see myself now that my daughter is growing up and doing, going off to do her own thing, the amount of opportunity that could come my way, like I'm really excited about it. And working with Airbnbs, I think that's a really smart market. Like I'm really, really excited. And working in small towns, I think that's where I'm going to be able to stand out. It's not like I'm trying to go to LA or New York, where probably a lot of people are doing something like this. But I would love to teach young people how to care for their plants.
Well, you might have come to the right place.
I know.
After this interview, you might need to talk details. But
I would love it.
We actually have a lot of enrichment club opportunities that we're currently creating for our students in elementary and middle school. So that might be something
fun
in the future. And when you go to Idlewild, you're going to have to kind of pivot a little bit on the types of plants, at least outdoors, right? Because a lot of
Zone 8, different
like
zoning.
pines
Different zoning, which will be really great for me to learn. And then also, just an opportunity to really see what thrives out there. And the cottage that I'm going to be living in is to die for. When I show you a video, literally the fireplace is neon yellow. Like it matched my eyeliner when I was standing next to it. They got me a red refrigerator. It's insane. When I walked in, I was like, this is literally for me. And I did some history because I'm going to be living on the grounds of the nursery in Idlewild. The nursery was born on my birthday. It opened on April 13th. Like, I know this sounds a little like out there, but I truly feel like the land has been like waiting for me. Like something's waiting for me out there. But I'm going to use my cottage as a display like showroom to be able to really deck it out in plants, show people what I can do, learn about different lighting, temperature, use my fireplace, like kind of trial and error to see like what's thriving, to be able to really to teach people and to know what's going to work in these Airbnbs, because you want it to be cost effective too. Like plants should live with us for a long period of time.
Yep. Idlewild is a special place.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
It's the Pacific Crest Trail goes through there, and so the one it goes from Canada or Mexico, or Mexico to Canada, all the way up. And so times that I've been in Idlewild run into through hikers who do that, and they stop off in Idlewild to replenish their supplies and recuperate and all that. And then you have just the kind of the hippies up there on the hill, and there's what's that place called? I hope it's still there. Mountain Mike's.
Yeah, Mountain Mike's.
Oh, Mike. Yeah. So that's like every time I go there to Idlewild, I go to Mountain Mike's because I like knives and that sort of outdoor stuff.
It's an interesting type of town, and I feel like for me as a younger person, you have the coolness of people from LA and people from Joshua Tree and people from Palm Springs and San Diego. So it's like it's a cool mountain town, but then you also have like the hippies and people that have been born and raised there, and it's a very special town. And when I'd never been to Idlewild until I went a couple of years ago to help my friends who were setting up Airbnbs, and fell in love with it. I love that it's so close to San Diego, and you have the mountains and the trees, and then you can go there for a day trip if you want to. Like, I'm really excited to still come back here and do what I'm going to do and have the ocean, and then go up there, and then like it snowed there the other day. Like I'm really excited to experience like different seasons.
What did you, we kind of glossed over this, but you've been doing this for 4 years. 4 years.
Yeah,
so
4 years.
So I know you're young, but you're not that young.
Right.
But you didn't have a career
job before that.
Yeah. What did you do?
I was a makeup artist. I graduated from high school in 1999 from Mira Mesa High, and started working for a makeup company called MAC Cosmetics. I started out being a model for them, and then that quickly you make connections, and then it's priority for you when a position opens. And I started working for doing makeup. Loved it, and did that truly for, until after I had Gia. And that took me to a couple of different places. I moved to Las Vegas for a little bit because you're able to transfer to another location. And I did makeup for years. And then I was working for a production company called Stu Siegel. There was a show being filmed here called Veronica Mars. I don't know if you remember it.
Yeah.
But I was doing makeup on the show. And then that's when I was pregnant with Gia. After the show ended, a lot of people were moving to LA and New York, and it just wasn't an option for me. So I started working for a Paul Mitchell salon, not doing hair, but more management, front desk stuff. And then I was there for like another 8 years. Wow. So I haven't had a lot of jobs, but the jobs I've had have been really impactful in the beauty industry and been a long period of time. And then I truly just was bored one day, woke up, and somebody was talking to me about these agriculture classes at City College, looked into it, really wanted to do it. My family was on board, I think because they were just thrilled that I wanted to go to college or like do something other than what I was doing. And so I did it, and this part of me that I didn't even know existed just completely came out. It was a big transitional period for me. I was going through one of the hardest breakups from a relationship that I'd ever been through in my life, and just really cracked open, super vulnerable. And these classes working with plants just really healed me. It was healing. I was using my body in different ways that I didn't know that I could use it. I was outside in the sunshine. I was growing food from seed and eating it. I was composting. I was recycling. It was just a very important, healthy time of my life. Like, I will never forget that time. I'm so grateful, because I wonder if I didn't find that going through a breakup, as we all know, can be so devastating and puts us in this dark place, I don't know where I would be right now. Like, I'm so grateful. Like, the plants found me and I found them.
Well, I think most of us are so far from nature.
Right.
So far from nature on a daily basis.
Right.
And that may be one of the reasons we have a habit of killing houseplants.
True.
It's just not even something we're connected to. Most of us don't even maintain our own lawns or gardens.
Right.
Because we're too busy. So it's easier to just have someone come and at least maintain it to some degree of like tidiness. And
right.
I know in my own case, I get to a point and I'll start telling people, like, I think I have nature deficit disorder right now, and it's really rearing its head, and I have to do something. Like, even if I just go for a hike and leave all my technology behind and go hiking in the mountains for 3-4 hours and just kind of reset.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely envious of you that you have the type of job that, obviously you have to talk to your clients, but that you can be connected to nature and the cycles that are there,
so
and indoor, outdoor, and the weather and all those pieces. It's not that common now,
right?
Especially in a big city. Yeah,
right.
Maybe in Idlewild you'll be closer to it, right?
True.
So, getting your 4 seasons in up there.
I'm super grateful every day. Like I said, I am excited about like this journey and where it's going to go and what I am going to be saying yes to, because it has just brought me so much joy. And the people I've met along the way, the people that trust me with their places. I mean, I have keys to all these beautiful locations that they just trust me to be in there. And the opportunity, I mean, when people go into these beautiful places and they see these beautiful plants, it sparks conversation. And I usually will always get like a new job out of that, or a house call or something. And they're a reflection of me.
Yeah.
Like, they really are. And I have, I'm super grateful for that.
Well, I wanted to give you a chance to just wrap up by telling us anything that you still have at the tip of your tongue, or something that you think we haven't touched on today, by way of closing, or any final thoughts.
Okay. I think going back to the question that you asked me about youth and just people that are, maybe a little lost or about to graduate and don't know what they're going to do, like, just do anything that makes you happy, because you never know where it's going to lead. You never know. And I think we put so much pressure on young people or even adults. I mean, I feel the pressure, and I'm 41 years old, about what are you going to do with your life, or what do you do? It's just like, I'm figuring it out. I don't know. I don't have a plan, but I do know that I'm happy. I do know that plants are so impactful and important and necessary. And I see, like, you are an example. Like, you're happy to see me when I come every week. I mean, the plants in your office make you smile.
They do.
If I can just relieve pressure off of youth and younger people, or people in general, like, get up and go do whatever makes you happy, just because you never know where it's going to take you, and you never know who's watching you that's going to be curious about you, and then boom, there's this opportunity to do something.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing that, because I think there's power that comes in boldness.
Right.
And we know if we're headed in the right direction by the way it makes us feel.
Sure.
And so you're a living example of that, and I really respect the story that you've shared with us today and your journey, and hope to see you back for a long time to come, taking care of our plants. So thank you again for joining us, and we'll get all your social media handles and everything in the show notes. So
thank you so much for having me.
Okay, bye-bye. Thank you for joining us for the Superintendent's Hangout. Check out the show notes for any links that we discussed in today's episode. You can also follow on Twitter at DVS1970. Thanks again for hanging out.